music for your ears from London town's Flo Finster. It's called Poster Girl. And this is Juice Radio's Fresh Juice. Your urban music refreshment online at GoJuiceRadio.com or with the TuneIn app wherever you need to ride. We got Portland artist and certified zombie hunter Saint Warhead in the building. He got an EP, Zombie Kisses, dropping on the 30th later this month. How was the drive, my man?
It was alright. It was kind of long and got kind of bored, so I probably smoked a little bit more weed than I should have.
A little bit of weed, I know. Relax a little bit. What did you listen to up on the way here?
I just got done doing the show this past weekend with Murs and with Prof at the Hawthorne Theater in Portland. Yeah, so I was bumping some Prof on the way down here most of the way.
Nice. What is the fixation with zombies all about?
I've been asked that a lot lately, so I've been trying to think of a good way to come up with the answer, so I'm not all like all the time like I usually am.
It fits your whole thing.
But I mean, I'm trying to avoid getting like lumped into this like super like zombie rapper identity, because like none of my old music really has anything to do with it, and none of my future music probably is either. It's kind of just like a theme or a concept or a focus like this one project.
Okay.
But I don't know, I've just always kind of been into shit that has like a darker edge. I've been really into, like zombie media stuff, like movies and like the Resident Evil games, since I was like a preteen.
Yeah, I mean, that shit's really popular right now.
Yeah, and that was also a big part of it, is I seen that becoming kind of like a rising trend, like in popular culture, and I kind of wanted to, capitalize on that while it was something that seemed like it was kind of buzzing. And a big part of it too is kind of like once you hear the album, aside from that, I mean, it kind of goes a little bit deeper in that. It's almost like it becomes a metaphor almost for just kind of like how I view like society and what's kind of going on in the world right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of deep like metaphoric references weaved in and out of the album also, on top of just, the regular references to like, media.
Is it like zombie affiliated, these deep references, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like an overall theme and concept throughout the entire album.
Okay. Well, this kind of relates to it. This week's fan question as face-off winner, Kyle in Portland was the winner. How do you think your music best represents your hometown? So how does zombie music represent Portland?
I mean, good, because Portland's full of weird fucking people, so. But I mean, I feel like I'm doing a lot to try and represent my hometown. I mean, honestly, half of the album makes references to Portland. You know what I mean? Like, it's in there a lot more than I feel like a lot of other people's music is.
Yeah.
And it almost was like something I wasn't sure if I should do, because I didn't want to be kept in this box of like my music only appealing to people like locally in Portland.
Right.
I went with it anyways, and a lot of the content focuses on me like trying to represent my hometown and where I'm from and where I grew up at.
Alright, dope. Well, we're about to spin one of your cuts right now before we talk to you a little bit later. About to spin Code Red, the new single featuring Repent that actually won the face-off. And we'll be back with you in a little bit on Juice Radio's Fresh Juice.
Everybody move back, Warhead's in the building. Just
protect us from the evil.
Juice Radio's Fresh Juice, that one's by Winner Circle featuring Rocky Fresh of Maybach. Hail to the King. We're back with Saint Warhead, still right here. I was looking at your website actually earlier, and it said that you went to jail for about 6 years.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why?
Armed robbery. When I was a 16-year-old, I was a sophomore in high school, and me and a couple buddies of mine tried to mug some dude walking down the street. And Oregon's got this thing called Measure 11, which is kind of like a one-strike rule as opposed to like a California, like a three-strike rule, where it's just kind of tough on like person-to-person crimes like that. So I got bopped with like a 6-year sentence when I was like 16 years old.
Damn. What did you steal?
Just money. Honestly, not very much of it. The dude was pretty broke.
What was your experience on the inside?
I mean, it was definitely tough. It's, by the time I got out, I'd spent a quarter of my life in jail. So, 25 25% chunk's pretty big, especially the last 25% chunk when you probably only remember, 50% of your life. It almost feels like half of your life.
Right.
So, I mean, it sucks. It's a shitty place to be. You gotta fight people over stupid shit. You gotta eat shitty food. You gotta never have sex or smoke weed. You gotta,
Right. You can't do any of that kind of
it's
stuff.
It's not a good deal. But, I mean, at the same time, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, because that's where I kind of got the place where I decided that music was what I wanted to do with my life when I got out, and so it kind of gave me like 6 years of like prep time that a lot of other artists don't get. So I kind of just hit the ground running with like a stronger educational standpoint, you know what I mean? With like more time to like develop my sound and image in privacy without having to make, a bunch of public mistakes like a lot of other cats do.
Did you finish up your education after getting out?
Well, actually, I went to Berklee College of Music online while I was in for several years and finished my education before I even got out. And then when I got out, I had my first, EP already recorded that I recorded while I was inside. And kind of just hit the ground as soon as I got out. And I've just kind of been trying to push full speed ever since then. It's been about, less than 2 years since I've got out. I feel I feel like I've accomplished more in the last, 18 months than a lot of cats I see on the scene have done in like a decade. Like I've, toured the West Coast 3 times. I've played like 70 shows in the last year across like 11 different states. I've put out 2 EPs and a full-length album, and I'm about to put out another EP.
Right.
So I've just been kind of like on ultra grind mode in the red.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting thing here, because a lot of people say the jail system is fucked up because people always get caught up in the system and keep going. But it sounds that you're almost better off for it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just on such a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
While I was in there for the 6 years, I seen dudes, get out and come back in time and time over. I had homies that I was close with get out after, 3 years and come back in with 8 years, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, honestly, the system is fucked up. The way shit works in there, the politics, the treatment, like everything's just fucked up in there. So it's just kind of on you to decide if you're going to take that as an opportunity to do something with it, or if you're just going to feed into it and become part of the problem yourself.
All right, well, the EP Zombie Kiss is dropping on March 30th, right?
March 30th,
What else can we expect of it other than the single that we heard a little bit earlier?
I dropped a music video at the beginning of this month for the intro track off the album called Blue Collar Monsters that has, got received really well, especially locally. We actually staged a zombie outbreak for the music video at a strip club in Portland called Casa Diablo.
Did you use red paint or ketchup?
Neither. We used, fake blood. We actually had like professional body painters come out to do all the makeup. It was important for me, like, to do something that, extravagant, like staging a zombie outbreak at a strip club on like an independent rapper budget. It was important to me to find some way to...
zombies gotta get their groove on too.
It was important to me to find some way to do it and have it look like legit and not look fucking corny, you know what I mean? Which was hard when I'm like able to spend like $400 on it.
Right.
But somehow it fucking happened, and the video came out, really dope in my opinion.
That's dope right there. Are you going on tour again?
Right now I just today got album release show tentatively booked in my hometown, and then I've been talking with a homie of mine, goes by Wildcard, that I've toured with previously, and we're kind of in the really, really early stages of planning something for around May or June-ish.
Dope. Stay busy right there. Thanks for coming through, my guy.
Sure.
We're about to play some more Northwest music. Actually, Ross Guyon and Todd Sykes just dropped an album. It's called Adding to the Extra. This is the lead single off the project, Gutter Snipe Bridge.
Left on my own.